What if I told you that someone's dislike for tattoos isn't really about the tattoos? Why do some people admire body art, while others feel immediate discomfort, judgment, or even disgust? Is it morality, culture, fear, or something much deeper inside the brain? Today, we're breaking down the psychology behind tattoo aversion, and by the end, you might understand both sides in a completely new way. And stay until the end, because the final reason might challenge how you see identity itself. The human brain is wired for survival, and survival means detecting potential threats. For thousands of years, unfamiliar physical markings could signal danger. Different tribe, different beliefs, possible enemy. Our ancestors relied on visual cues to determine friend or threat. So when someone sees heavy tattoos, especially if they didn't grow up around them, their brain may activate subtle threat detection systems. Not consciously, but instinctively. That slight discomfort, it may just be your ancient brain doing its job. For decades, tattoos were associated with rebellion, outlaws, gangs, prison culture. In many societies, tattoos were linked with deviance. If someone grew up hearing, "Good people don't get tattoos," or "Tattoos ruin your future," that belief gets wired deeply. This is called social conditioning. And here's the key. Most people don't realize they were conditioned. They think their reaction is personal opinion. But often, it's inherited belief. Some people view the body as sacred, untouched, natural, pure. This is deeply tied to something called purity psychology, a moral foundation where physical alteration feels like contamination. Even if they can't explain it, there's an emotional reaction. Discomfort, disgust, moral unease. It's not about the design, it's about altering the natural state. And this reaction is often stronger in highly religious or traditional communities. Here's where it gets interesting. Tattoos represent autonomy. I choose my body. I define myself. For some people, this challenges traditional authority structures, family expectations, corporate norms, cultural hierarchies. When someone expresses identity visibly and permanently, it can trigger discomfort in those who value conformity. Not because tattoos are wrong, but because they signal independence. And independence can feel threatening. Quick question. If you don't like tattoos, what's the main reason? Fear? Culture? Professional image? Drop your honest answer below. No judgment, just psychology. Tattoos today are mainstream. Doctors have them. CEOs have them. Teachers have them. But 30 to 40 years ago, completely different story. Generations encode norms during their formative years. If tattoos symbolized rebellion during someone's youth, that association often never fully updates. Even if society evolves, your brain updates slower than culture. Tattoos are permanent, and permanence scares people. We live in a world of updates, edits, deletes, but a tattoo? No undo button. Some people project their fear of regret onto others. What if you change? What if you regret it? This isn't judgment. It's anxiety about irreversible decisions. And that fear says more about the observer than the person with the tattoo. The halo effect is a cognitive bias. We unconsciously judge someone's competence based on appearance. Clean cut equals disciplined. Visible tattoos equals impulsive. Not true, but automatic. Even hiring managers who claim neutrality often show subtle bias in studies. This bias is shrinking, but it still exists in certain industries. and awareness is the first step toward reducing it. Sometimes tattoo aversion isn't about morality. It's about control. Parents resisting a child's tattoo may feel loss of influence. Leaders resisting visible tattoos may fear loss of authority. Tattoos signal, I own myself. And for some, that's uncomfortable because it disrupts power dynamics. Here's the twist. As society becomes more individualistic, self-expression becomes celebrated. Tattoos are no longer rebellion. They're storytelling. Grief, love, survival, transformation. The same brain that once saw threat now sees art. Perception evolves. So next time someone reacts strongly to tattoos, pause. It might not be judgment. It might be evolution, conditioning, fear, or identity threat. And if you have tattoos, remember, you're not just wearing ink. You're wearing a psychological signal. Now the real question is, what does your reaction say about you?